Hey guys, welcome back. I am the Honest Mechanic, and in today's video we're going to be doing a tune-up on this 2014 Sportsman 90. Stay tuned. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the seat and service the air filter. Let's get that out of the way. You're going to remove these 4 clips, open up the air filter cover, and you're going to remove the filter and service that. Now this one here I already done before filming this video, but the proper way of doing this would be to soak it in some soapy water, warm soapy water, and let it air dry. Do not soak it in any solvents like gasoline, Varsol, any harsh chemicals. And when it's drying, don't blow dry it, don't wring it, just let it air dry. And of course, always re-oil it using proper air filter oil. And the reason I say that is because if you use anything else like motor oil, it's just not going to work well because it's not tacky. It will just get sucked right through your carburetor, and it's going to cause you some smoky situations coming out the tailpipe. All right, moving on to the next thing. All right, next we're going to change the engine oil because we are due for that. Now, right under here, we're going to remove this plug right here, which is also going to have a filter or a screen built in. I should also note, guys, just because I'm on a lift here, all of this stuff is still possibly done on the ground without any of this fancy stuff. And this is very generalized for any of these mini quads. So regardless of the brand, you're going to have very similar results if you follow these instructions. But I did also follow the book, which I have over here. Always follow your owner's manual. And in here, we are not due for the transmission fluid, but if you needed to replace that, it would be on this particular model. You'd be removing this bolt right here, or this drain plug, and you'd be filling it up from, let me see if I get in there. And just so you know, guys, sometimes these plugs can be very tight. Now make sure you don't lose anything, because there is a spring and that screen like I mentioned. I suppose it wouldn't go far because it'd be falling into your tank like that. That was unexpected. Alright, so we're going to let that drain. Okay, so this is your screen setup that you've just removed. Your screen, of course, itself. I ran these through a parts washer real quick, so they're nice and clean now. But always inspect this screen and make sure there's no debris or no metal shavings in here. If there is, clean them out, but if there is quite a bit, you might actually have some kind of an engine problem that you're just not quite sure of yet or haven't heard it. And then the spring, of course, encapsulates itself like this, and then the cap, which would go just like so, sitting up like that. Since I have it in the air, it's also a good idea to lubricate the drive chain, because of course now I can rotate everything really well. And it's a good idea too to be looking at your sprocket, making sure, if I can squeeze the camera in there, there we go, this is a better angle, and look at the teeth of the sprocket. If they're rounded or if they're pointy, that's an indication of some excessive wear. This one's looking really good. Same with the front. And check this out too. This one's actually got an automatic tensioner. I kind of like that. Don't have to be tensioning the chain super often. Here's a pro tip. Seeing as we're looking at the chain and sprocket, if you can grab the chain at the back side of the sprocket here and pull it back, and you can see an excessive amount of wear, or you can see light through the chain and the sprocket. I can't do it on this one, so we're good. But if you can, that means it's time for a chain replacement because you've got too much play. And that trick works for any chain-driven motorcycle or ATV. And of course, in case I forgot to mention it while I'm here, I'm going to lubricate the chain. And if it was needed, I would also tension it up. Okay, so since I still have it in the air, I'm going to show you guys a couple of the grease points that need some attention every time you do one of these tune-ups. We got one over here for the steering. Of course, we're going to have the same thing on this side. And of course, we have a couple more. You see here, best angle for you guys. There we go. We've got two at the front. And we have another two, let me move this cable here, at the back. Now we're going to add our oil. The book says 29 ounces or 850 milliliters. I always like to shake the bottles before I pour them in to allow all those additives to become suspended in the oil. Always use recommended oil from the manufacturer, of course. Now that our oil is topped up and ready to go, it's also a good idea to check the transmission oil. I mentioned earlier I'm not going to replace it on this bike, but I am going to check it. And to do that on this Sportsman 90 is you just remove the fill cap here. And there's no dipstick like I mentioned, but what there is what you're going to look for is for the oil to be flush with the top of the threads. If you see that, you're good to go. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, go out there and fix something.